Hello, this is Paul Lennon, and good evening to you all. I'm speaking from Antigua, Guatemala, and sorry, that's something on my nose today. But anyway, what can you do? With my life story, and especially the big episode with the Legionaries of Christ, of which I was a member for 23 years. As I say, the best years of my life, but we never know when the best years of our life are going to come. I was 17 to 40, and later on, I think I had a better life. Anyway, this is the latest version of my autobiography, which you've seen before. As you can see, my photographer was not particularly careful there, and my nose came out very big in that take, which is my mass after ordination in the catacombs. It was a custom in the Legion because we were ordained. I was, those lucky ones were ordained in Rome at the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Legionaries Church, on Via Aurelia Nova in Rome, and then we were very privileged to say our first masses, like in the catacombs, for example, um, and then or maybe in St. Peter's or some other important place there in Rome. And very nice. That's it. That's the story. It's a rather thick now, but it's a big. It has very big print, so don't worry too much. It's not like a tremendous amount of stuff. And they tell me it's nice reading. And people say sometimes people have said to me, Paul, you're making money out of writing about the Legionaries of Christ and criticizing them, etc., etc., etc. And I can assure you that writing this book has not brought a lot of money into my life. I don't. This is meager earnings. It's self-published in Amazon. You get a tiny little thing every time a book is bought, or a book or a Kindle version. About $1 a time, and so that's a myth. I admire those people who are able to promote their books better than me. As you know, John Keogh has quite a good one. Uh, Jack Keogh, excuse me, a colleague of mine in the Legion, and we're almost contemporaries. And he has a very nice version of his life in the Legion, and I'm sure Jack hasn't made a mint out of that either. Fortunate out of that. I'm just mentioning that. I'm going to start hopefully chapter 14 today, very briefly. Today I'd like to give you an idea of what Father Maciel was like. Try to be as objective as I can, even though certainly I've been a critic of his for decades, and I was never one of his faithful followers or his enthusiastic yes men, licking his boots or anything like that. But there were many who did so, and even to this very day, a founder can be held in very high esteem. And so I want to make that point also for those who may chance to watch this short video. And it's going to be short today, I promise. Um, because sometimes when the founder is there, the followers at the beginning are very enthusiastic of the founder, and he may have his gifts and has his charisma, usually he or her, and so they really exalt this person and do not see his defects or his vices or his bad temper, for example, or his meanness, as they say in the US of A, his unkindness, his cruelty, very often too, his vanity, his ambition, his or her ambition. So, but I was never one of those, as I say, one of those cherubims and seraphims who were praising him in the height of heavens and put him on a cloud or something. No, no, no. But so there is in this chapter 14, and it's called Revisiting Father Maciel's Modus Operandi. Operandi, that how he functioned. What was Father Maciel like? Okay, so I introduced this with my own quote. Instead of quoting Siddhartha like I usually did at the beginning of my chapters, I wrote this one myself. It says, in Mexico City, 3 months prior to the ordination of Jorge Bernal, George Bernal, now a legionary bishop, actually Bishop Emeritus in Cancun on the Quintana Roo mission. He was my superior. I was very fond of him, but after the new bishop of Cancun was installed, then Monsignor Bernal was kind of pushed away, and he became emeritus. And as he told me a few years ago, I don't have much power now in the Legion. I'm just kind of, sitting on the side altar there, sitting on a lower stool, shall we say, at the table. But very good. But in 1957, around the time Monsignor Bernal was ordained as a Catholic priest, Father Maciel told then seminario Saul Barrales, and this is one of Father Maciel's victims, sexual abuse victims, who presently Saul lives now. He's in his 80s, living in Mexico City. He's had a lot of health problems. He's a lovely person. Wouldn't, what do they say? Wouldn't hurt a fly. And he's so keep him in your prayers, please, because he's having some serious operations, serious interventions, as they say. Um, some he had a bladder problem many years ago, which is very painful, and now he's having some a brain operation. So please remember him in your prayers if you watch this darn thing, this tape. Anyway, around the same time, um, Saul was never ordained. So sometimes think that all those victims of Marcial were priests. No, no, no. Only one or two were priests. But the rest were seminarians, and then they never continued. They never went on to the priesthood because they were so traumatized by their sexual abuse that they never made it. They never made it. And but Saul was he was an advanced seminarian, and probably around the same time of George Bernal, and he was going to be ordained. So this is a little story here, anecdote, and as I say, brief here. Um, Father Maciel then told seminarian Saul Barrales, told his parents, excuse me, to get ready to travel to Europe. They're Mexicans, of course, to Rome. Their son Saul would be ordained together with Brother Bernal. The promise, alas, was not to be fulfilled. Saul had made one serious mistake, and that is he crossed Father Maciel. And this was sometimes the end of your legionary story or history. Marcial was here. I'm showing him to be a despot, a despotic superior, a capricious and vengeful person. As I say, Saul had made one serious mistake. Following the spirit and letter of Legion rules, he had shown support for his then superior, Father Luis Ferreira, during that contentions period known originally in the Legion history as La Guerra, the war. That was when Father Maciel was censored by the Vatican and told to step aside, 1956. That very painful episode for the Legion, for Father Maciel too, was called originally La Guerra, the war. But then afterwards it was rebaptized, rewritten as is wont in the Legion, and it's called the Great Blessing, La Gran Bendición. So we rewrite history as we go along. Anyway, that was tough time for the Legion. Father Maciel was put aside. He was supposed to stay away from the Legion, and he kind of found refuge in Spain. So he wasn't supposed to be around Rome and Italy, and so he took refuge in Spain with some friends, I would imagine, or maybe some clerics that still believed in him. In 1956, Father Maciel had been asked to step down from his leadership position and leave the Legion pending an investigation into his behavior. Padre Ferreira, as he was known, was a co-founder and collaborator of Father Maciel, though always in a subordinate role. In 1956, however, when Father Maciel was separated from the Legion and silenced, Ferreira was officially appointed Vicar General of the Legion by Vatican authorities. Saul had accepted Ferreira's authorities in Maciel's absence. Marcial, although officially separated from the Legion, still wielded a lot of power, and he would impede Saul's ordination. So, as you know, Marcial was like a dictator, and he was still, even though he was supposed to be separated and censored by the Vatican, he still maintained power in the Legion because before leaving, he placed his cronies in charge of the community. And we know also that he was able to blackmail Father Ferreira, who was also a pedophile. So we had one pedophile blackmailing the other pedophile. Now this is not fiction. This is truth being stranger than fiction. So Maciel had something on Ferreira. Ferreira had something on Maciel, but Maciel was the stronger one and the arm twisting, shall we say. And but Ferreira was given that position because he was the second in command during this foundational period. Maciel was out of it, and so Ferreira was allowed to be the vicar general during that time. But Ferreira could not prevail, and so Father Maciel prevented Saul Barrales from being ordained. And that's all it is for today. Thank you very much. Please be very safe, my friends in the US and in Ireland. I feel you are being kind of impatient and not wanting to wear your mask. I know a lot of people might dislike what I'm saying, because there's very strong feelings now about wearing the mask, and people in Ireland are out for protesting. I am the great protester with the Legion of Christ, but not about wearing masks. My protest does not go that far. I want to protect myself and protect other people. And that's why I have this firm belief. Thank you very much. Greetings and post-priestly blessings from your friend Paul Lennon, the arch critic of the Legion of Christ, Regnum Christi, and now Regnum Christi Federation. We have changed the name to get away from that Legionnaire name, perhaps because of the stain presented by Father Maciel and his disreputable life. And now we are the Regnum Christi Federation. So if you hear it, it's the same story. It's just, as they say in Mexico, it's the same old cat, just being a kind of wrapped around in the mud. That's all. Till the next time, thank you.